This show is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Protect your online privacy today by going to expressvpn.com/RTTV. One of our three deceivers used to organize school-wide pillow fights. You can tell us who you think it is by voting along in the chat. Now let's find out who's telling the truth and who is a chump. Welcome to Chump, everybody, the Rooster Teeth game show all about lying and deception. I'm your host, Jeremy Dooley, and I want to remind you that last month, Rooster Teeth was celebrating Black Heritage Month, and we are still continuing to do so right now. We're raising money for the NAACP Legal Defense Fund and the Austin Area Urban League, which are organizations dedicated to fighting racial injustice. So you can still donate right now at roosterteeth.com/donate, or you can pick up a shirt, hoodie, or hat from the Black Excellence Collection at bit.ly/BECollectionRT. All profits from the Sky's the Limit t-shirt, Black Excellence pullover hoodie, or Black Excellence snapback cap go to the Austin Urban League. Thank you very much for donating. And now it is time to introduce the deceivers for today's show. Starting with deceiver number one, returning Ryan Haley.
Woo-hoo! James Williams, we're going jumping down, motherfucker.
Let's also introduce deceiver number two, Zach Niblick.
Hey, I'm also excited to lie to James.
It's gonna be quite a day of that, because deceiver number three for the first time on the show is Alec Agabon. Welcome, Alec.
Hi,
First time.
I've never met James.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that accurate? Well, we're about to find out, because as they've said, the contestant on today's show is James Willems. Welcome, James.
I'm going to cut you down, Ryan. You're dead to me. It's a wrestling show.
This is,
You silly chump.
a real cast of characters here. So, yeah, it's probably safe to assume that Alec would be the one you know the least about, James, going into this. How do you feel looking at this lineup?
Well, I mean, looking at it, the thing is, Ryan will do anything he needs to win, but at the same time, his actual life story is a lie for anyone else to tell. You know what I'm saying? So, like his truth is worse than any lie the rest of us could come up with, so that's definitely going to be tricky. Zach is very stoked. Very stoked. You want to believe Zach, but I just don't know that I can. And Alec has no reason to lie to me because I don't know anything. I don't really know much about him. So
There you go.
literally say anything you want. Yeah.
I'm a vegetarian.
Is he? Who knows? Who knows?
Are you?
What is it, a vegetarian taco? The Taco Bell wrapper?
Was it vegetarian
This
Reese's
vegetarian
Pieces?
brisket shirt.
Oh, he does have a brisket shirt on. Well, you know what? Let's find out who James really knows the best by starting things off with our first game, which is called Out of Context. In this game, we're going to give James a social media post that was made by one of our three deceivers. James will then question each person for 45 seconds about the context of this post. Why did they make it? Who were they replying to? Was it just out of the blue? Stuff like that. But 45 seconds goes quick, so keep the questions and the answers pretty short. Audience, you are also competing in this game, as you will in every game. You can vote in the chat using the poll that's going to come up. There's nice buttons that you can click on for Ryan, Zach, and Alec. If you're on mobile, you're going to type in the chat using #1, #2, and #3, respectively, for Ryan, Zach, and Alec, for who you think made the post. So, it's time to see the post. And the post in question today is as follows. If it's that first pee after getting off an airplane, it's totally understandable. So, a conditional thing. If it's that first pee after getting off an airplane, it's totally understandable. So, James, who do you want to question about this first?
Ryan. I want to question Ryan, please.
Okay, so Ryan first. 45 seconds for this questioning. Getting the context in 3, 2, 1, begin.
Ryan, when did you tweet this?
I tweeted this about a year ago, James.
Okay. Who did you tweet this to?
It's my friend Will McCrory.
Why did you tweet this?
Do you want to know why? He
yeah,
tweeted that
what
his
did they
pee
say?
smelled like peanuts. Smelled like peanuts. So my response was, well, if you were on an airplane, you know, that's where peanuts usually are, then it would be understandable for your pee to smell like peanuts in this situation.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you think that the digestive system
make
works
sense
in
to you?
such that... Okay, yeah, I get it. I think I understand. Okay. No more questions.
All right, peanuts. It is only good to eat peanuts off of a plane. That's good. All right, so James, there's the questioning for Ryan. I don't know if that cleared anything up for you. Who would you like to go to next?
I actually have more questions. I would like to question Alec, please.
All right, on to Alec.
It's understandable.
45 seconds to ask about this social media post. Ready, get set, go.
Alec, are you actually a vegetarian?
Yeah.
Who did you tweet this to?
My friend Caesar.
When did you tweet this to them?
It was after I got off an airplane a couple years ago.
Okay, a couple years ago. Why did you feel? What were you responding to that you felt the need to tweet this?
It's the etiquette on farting in a bathroom, a public bathroom.
Okay, so you think that you can only fart in a public bathroom if you're peeing after a plane ride?
Yeah,
Okay.
and only that.
Okay, great.
No other
All
time.
right. No other time can you fart in a public bathroom except off of a plane. So we have two reasonings there. Two conditional urinations, leaving Zach for the final context. James, are you ready to question Zach?
I'm ready.
All right, 45 seconds, ready, get set, go.
Zach, do you believe Alec is actually a vegetarian?
I do actually.
Okay. When did you tweet this?
2016.
2016, very specific. Okay. And what was the context? Why did you tweet this?
I was responding to about when it's okay to have a little bit of pee splash around, around the feet area in a bathroom.
Okay, so
Get a little
you
bit of
think
splashback, yeah.
so splashback from the toilet is okay, but only after you're getting off an airplane.
Yeah, well, like you might have been sitting for a long time, your legs get a little shaky,
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, so we have peanut pee, we have splashback, and we have farting in the bathroom. Those are the three things conditionally resting upon after a flight urination. So, audience, last chance to change your votes or get your votes in if you haven't yet, if anyone managed to convince you. James,
Yes.
before we get your final answer, are any of these too ridiculous to be the case, or do you think they're all believable in their own way? What are you thinking?
I feel like Ryan misread the tweet he was supposed to be lying about. Hence the peanuts. So I feel like it may be safe to eliminate Ryan on this case. The other two I feel like were much more convincing, better arguments. Though, I mean, if you're going to limit yourself to farting only after getting off a plane in a public bathroom, like that, I feel like that's severely limiting. So I'm leaning towards Zach.
All right, so we have the leans in here. Before we get the lock-in, audience, you are now locked in for the first game. Thank you very much for voting along, and best of luck to you to not wind up the chump this episode. All right, so James, you said you're eliminating Ryan and you're leaning Zach.
I'm leaning Zach, yeah.
Now the lean, is that going to be locked in or not? What are you thinking here?
Is it possible for me to just read the tweet one more time?
Absolutely.
Just before I make my final decision?
Yeah, can we get the tweet back up? There it is. If it's that first pee after getting off an airplane, it's totally understandable. It is totally understandable.
For your pee to smell like peanuts, yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ryan misread it, so I'm gonna go Zach. I think this is Zach's. I think this is Zach's. Something sounds like something Zach might say.
All right, locking that in.
Yes, locked in.
All right, let's lock in Zach as the one who made the social media post. Now, before we reveal who made the post, let's see what the audience voted. Where did their percentages wind up? As they tally, they agree. Agreeing with 18% for Ryan.
I gotta stop
double
tweeting
that.
about piss so much.
Double that to get to Alec for 36, and then 46 for Zach. So both James and the audience have gone for Zach. And I can reveal that the person who made this tweet was our very own Alec Agabon. Made the tweet. Yes, it was about farting. So you said farting in a public bathroom. The tweet that he was responding to said, out of curiosity, what are your thoughts on people casually farting right beside you at a urinal? So standing at a urinal. And so Alec, do you still stand by your position there? There it is.
No, I disagree with past self now. I think it's just fine to fart anywhere these days.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's
I'm glad to see you.
I'm a little more
changed
free
and grown.
You know?
So, Ryan.
Yeah.
What happened there?
I really thought I had a good chump line. I thought that James would see my logic there and really think that that's something that I would have tweeted. And he saw right through me. I'm pretty upset with myself. I'm the chump right now. I gotta fight. I have to start my redemption arc right now. Fuck.
Okay, so the Ryan redemption arc starts now. By the way, Ryan's team got 2 points there. No one else got anything. So from the lead, the redemption arc begins for Ryan on a personal level.
All right, I'm winning. James, I'm winning.
Very good job.
Redemption arc is
And
doing
Ryan wins alone. Let me tell you that. Ryan wins alone. So I just want to let the other deceivers know that he will not share this victory with you.
I'm the captain of the team.
We just rename it to Ryan's team.
Ryan's team. Yes, the contestant, the audience, and Ryan's team. This episode of Chump is brought to you by DoorDash. Did you forget that one thing at the store? Always the worst feeling. You get home and you know you're just missing that one thing that you needed for that recipe. Well, now you can get snacks, drinks, and household essentials in 30 minutes with DoorDash. Ordering is easy. Open the DoorDash app, choose what you want from where you want, and your items will be left safely outside your door with the contactless delivery drop-off setting. Nice and safe and easy. With over 300,000 partners in the US, Puerto Rico, Canada, and Australia, you can support your neighborhood go-tos or choose from your favorite national restaurants like Popeyes, Chipotle, and the Cheesecake Factory. And I just ordered from the Cheesecake Factory the other day on DoorDash, my sister's birthday. That's what she wanted because they have a ton of options. You know that. So we literally just went in, ordered exactly what we wanted, and got an update on my phone. It was right outside the door, and we celebrated a nice, safe indoor birthday with just our close family with that contactless delivery drop-off. So it was great. And for a limited time, our viewers can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter the code CHUMP2021. That's 25% off up to a $10 value and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter the code CHUMP2021. Don't forget, that's code CHUMP 2021 for 25% off your first order with DoorDash. Subject to change and terms apply. Thank you, DoorDash, for sponsoring. But there's still time to turn it around for the contestant, the audience, and for Ryan in our next game, which is called What's in Your House? All right, in this game, we're going to go down the line of our deceivers and have them each give us a one-sentence description of a bizarre item that is in their house. However, only one of them is telling the truth. The other two are making up items that do not exist. It's going to be up to James to question each of them, up to my discretion. I'll tell him when to move on to the next person about these items, where they came from, what they look like. things like that, to try to determine who has the actual item. And audience, you are doing the same thing, trying to determine who has the real item. So before voting and questioning begins, let's go down the line and get those one-sentence descriptions of these items. Starting with Ryan. Ryan, what is in your house?
Bazooka cactus.
All right, there we go. One sentence or 2 words. Bazooka cactus. Is that an adjective and a noun or 2 nouns? Hard to say.
Poker glasses on.
Zach, what is in your house?
A cutting board previously used by Gordon Ramsay.
A cutting board previously used by Gordon Ramsay. Alec, what is in your house?
2 scorpions that are dead fighting in like immortal combat in a clear yellow yo-yo.
All right, yeah. two dead scorpions fighting within a yo-yo. Okay, James, you can begin with whoever you want. Who do you want to question first?
Let's go to Ryan.
All right, let's Bazooka Cactus. All right, and there's no time limit on this one, so whenever you're ready to start your questioning, go for it.
Hey, Ryan, what's a bazooka cactus?
James, I'm so glad you asked that. That's a great question.
Yeah.
So,
what is?
As you might not know this, but I used to frequent army surplus stores a lot, buying all sorts of weird shit. And I one time found some decommissioned kind of bazooka parts. Not a full bazooka, parts of a bazooka. And my girlfriend at the time thought it'd be cool if we made little plants out of it. And she made a cactus, put a little cactus into the bazooka, the little part of the bazooka. And so that's my bazooka cactus, James. That's a bazooka cactus.
What was your girlfriend's middle name?
Ray.
Okay. Ooh. All right. Just making sure. All right. Maybe he has Star Wars off to the side. Okay. So it's essentially you took a bazooka and then you used it as a planter for a cactus.
Yes.
You took parts of a bazooka and used. What kind of cactus?
I am not
big one, small.
Is
it big or small?
I don't know shit about gardening. Okay, this is all my ex-girlfriend's idea, and she's super into that, and so I just thought it was like I just know it's a cactus. You know,
is it how large? How large is it? How tall does the cactus extend?
It sounds way cooler and more badass and intense than it is. It's a small bazooka cactus, James.
Okay, how often do you water this bazooka cactus?
Rarely. I was told I didn't have to. That's one of the best parts of having a cactus because I don't have to do much to it.
Yeah, because it's succulent and it doesn't require much. Okay.
All right, James, I'm going to jump in there. I'm going to jump in there for your bazooka cactus questioning. Man, it really came out swinging with that. What is a bazooka cactus question? I think it was really hinging on that answer. Yeah, it was a great question.
Yeah, right.
All right, so who do you want to go to next? The cutting board or the scorpions?
Let's go to the cutting board.
Cutting board, previously used by Gordon Ramsay. Whenever you're ready, begin your questioning.
Hey, Zach, what's a bazooka cactus?
I think it is a cactus that is stored within the barrel of a previously used, now decommissioned bazooka or parts of one.
Ooh. Okay, interesting. Very telling. Okay, so you got this cutting board. Under what context did Gordon Ramsay use it?
Okay, I'm not lying here. James cut out a little bit.
Yeah, under what context did Gordon Ramsay use it?
It was from his somewhat recent show, 24 Hours to Hell and Back.
And why did he use your cutting board?
Well, it was at the time his cutting board, and he was using it for demonstration purposes on the show.
And then you took it afterwards. You took a prop.
I was gifted it by a friend who was on the production for that show.
So were you there when he used the cutting board?
I was not. No. This was a gift.
This is second. It was a gift. Someone told you. Do you know what was cut upon the board?
I don't actually. I mean, there was like a season's worth of stuff. It was like one of the ones that he used at his demo station for like every single episode. I'm to understand. So
Okay.
I would assume a lot of
Sounds
things.
Are you at all concerned that in receiving this gift, you yourself became a chump and someone lied to you?
I thought about it, but I trust this friend implicitly, and I also do have pictures of them on the set, holding up said cutting board, and others like it.
One last question. What's your friend's middle name?
I actually don't know. I hand to God, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. That's the end of the questioning for Zach. Ooh, really tripped at the finish line there, Zach. Oof. The friend's middle name. All right.
I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm friends with a lot of people who I just really don't know anything about them. I don't know.
Fair.
I can be good friends with somebody and
anything
really not
about
know their
them,
middle
not
name.
just middle names.
Middle name
I don't
is
know
like
anything
kind of.
and that leaves Alec, the scorpions fighting within the yo-yo. James, whenever you're ready to question Alec about that thing, go for it.
Okay, just some clarifications. It's a yo-yo, which means it's how large? Is this an oversized yo-yo or is this standard sized yo-yo?
Standard average yo-yo. Yeah.
And so it has two formerly alive scorpions now sealed like the mosquito from Jurassic
Like
Park
in resin, yeah.
inside. Okay, all right. And it's a functioning yo-yo.
It's a functioning yo-yo, yes.
Okay. Do you know if the scorpions were posed or were they caught mid-battle when you got this?
They looked posed. If they were mid-battle, I feel like they would be more like entangled with one another. This is like what a human thinks two scorpions fighting looks like.
Where do you keep this yo-yo?
Just with my pile of other random toys that I have from the years, like dice holders and
Okay.
all.
So is it right next to you? Is it near you right now?
No, that one's buried deep with some old
Okay.
Nerf guns.
Okay. How did you get it? Where did you find it?
I got it at Spencer's because you know that Spencer's. They've got
Because
weird
they were
underwear.
sold out of calendars of women wearing thongs.
Exactly. And all the
good.
other
Yeah,
novelty items, like gun mugs.
Okay. Oh. So this is not a custom made. This is something that's probably there's probably 1,000 of these out somewhere, right?
Probably. Just
Okay.
novelty gift.
All right. Well, I just have one last question.
Yeah.
Will you show it to me right now?
That would violate the rules of the game.
Okay.
Ooh,
All right. I
Alec.
had to try. I had to try, Jeremy.
Good answer, Alec. I like that one. All right. James, that is all of your questioning done on these items. Audience, last chance to change your answers or get your answer in if you haven't done so yet. Buttons are not right there. You can click on them, or on mobile, you can post in the chat to cast your vote. James, before they are locked in and before you are locked in, what are you thinking after the questioning? Is there any you completely don't believe, or anyone who's managing to sway you a little bit?
Just to clarify, only one of them actually has this item, correct?
Correct. One of these is real. The other two are made up.
I'll just say this flat out. This was very well played by the deceivers. All of you somehow managed to pick perfect items that fit your personality or what I know of your personality thus far. And so very, very well done. I can happily admit that. Man, the only thing, the Zach not knowing his best friend since childhood's, who he loves more than anything's middle name just seems weird to me, you know? It's your best friend from all time. And so it seems weird not knowing that their middle name, but that again, he could be a sociopath who just doesn't care.
It's true.
Also, I feel like with Alec, the fact that it is just a Spencer's gift, probably with 1,000 of those things everywhere, I don't feel like it would stand out to me to think that this is a unique item that I would share if it is just such a thing that's thrown beneath a pile of stuff in some other room, right? amongst his
Right.
dice. So that also gives me doubt. Whereas a gift from a cactus from an ex-girlfriend that Ryan has just not put in the time to throw out yet seems very on brand for Ryan, you know?
Well,
So as far as finding nicks in the armor, I feel like Ryan's armor is the strongest right now at this point.
all right. So, audience, we are now locking you in. There is a lot of Bazooka Cactus conversation happening in the audience. A lot of people saying, regardless if it's real or not, it's real to them, which is nice.
Yeah.
So, the audience is now locked in. They are done. James, it is time to get an official answer from you. Who has the actual item? Those glasses get higher every time I look at Ryan. Like every time they're a little.
It helps. It helps with poker glasses.
Again, one last time, excellent work by all deceivers. I'm going to have to say the bazooka cactus is real.
Do you want to lock that in?
I will lock that in, yes.
Let's lock in Ryan and the bazooka cactus as the real item. And so that is now locked in. Audience, before we reveal the item, because I'm not actually just going to say it, we're going to have them actually hold up the item and show it to the camera. So, audience, what did you think? Who has the actual item here? It's a tie.
Wow.
Boom, shakalaka.
Wow.
That is a first in Chump, a tie vote. 37 to Ryan and 37 to Zach. My gosh, I feel all right. So we'll decide what we're gonna do with points after we show, because if it's Alec, doesn't matter. But so Ryan and Zach are tied here, and so I am now, rather than revealing it myself, going to count down from 3 and then say reveal. All 3 of our deceivers will hold up their hands, and either they'll have the item in it or they'll be holding up nothing. So, show the real item in 3, 2, 1, reveal.
Double jumped, yeah!
There is no bazooka cactus. That's so sad. So, I think everyone wanted.
Got your ass, James. You're a
I am
chump,
so
dude. You're a
disappointed
chump.
that
You're all chumps too. Every one of you is a chump. God damn, I'm good at this game. Fuck.
You guys
another
had
one
him
for
back
Team Ryan.
on the last time he was on. You've had him on before, and then you were like, "Yeah, we want more of this."
Yeah, we want more. We want more.
I
Well,
dumped the whole
that's
container of plungers out.
we get a list of facts from everyone, and we're like, oh, let's use this fact for the envelope game. Let's use this fact. And like Christian will go through and highlight certain ones and be like, this is a good one. This is a good one. And he was like, this is a good one for Zach. I think this is a good one for Alec. You just pick one of Ryan's. Like whichever one it takes, just whichever one. They all work.
part of me going into this game, and I was trying not to think about the production side of it, but part of me was going what could Ryan possibly say that is real?
Yeah.
That like the line between lies and truths all blur with him, right? So
Yes,
like if
they
I
do.
was a producer on this
why I'm
show,
best at this
I
game.
wouldn't pick anything that he suggested as a truth.
The last
because
time we
it
had
wouldn't
him
work.
on, he had like a bin full of plunger. Or what was it? It was something full of plungers. The last time we had you on.
Giant, Tupperware container full of plungers, yeah.
Which they just had around his house. So the interesting thing is, and I'm gonna throw a real curveball at the people controlling the graphics on the show. Audience tied there, so they were both right and wrong. So I think what we should do
were wrong.
is we give a point to the deceivers for fooling the contestant, and then I think we should give a point to the deceivers and a point to the audience. Deceivers, you fooled a lot of the audience, not all of them. Audience, you also got it right. So we're gonna give you that little lead, audience, a little bit, but you're not out of the hole yet. So there we go. The deceivers
Also,
are
I want to address.
good.
I want to address
Yeah.
that I am no sociopath who does not know my best
Right.
friend since childhood's middle name. That was never. I never said my best friend since childhood.
That's-
I said
I think we
friend.
played back.
Fake out.
I said
I think
a
we play
friend
back.
who I trust implicitly. And I don't know her middle name. I don't.
Brutal. Well, That's going to lead to a conversation
Hurts.
in the future. This episode of Chump is brought to you by HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get fresh, pre-measured ingredients and mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. HelloFresh lets you skip those trips to the grocery store and makes home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. #1, above all else, HelloFresh. That's where they are. HelloFresh offers convenient, contact-free delivery right to your doorstep for easy home cooking with the family. The recipes are easy to follow and quick to make, with steps and pictures to guide you along the way. HelloFresh offers 25-plus recipes featuring a range of flavors, cuisines, and ingredients, so you'll never get bored. Try something new every week. There's something for everyone, including weekly low-calorie, vegetarian, and family-friendly recipes. It is seriously super easy to use HelloFresh. The instructions are very, very simple to follow. They have the pictures, so you know exactly what you're going to be doing at each step. They let you know beforehand what you're going to need for cookware. And also, you're learning while you're cooking. You follow these steps, and it's something that you're adding to your experience when it comes to cooking. So in the future, you know what ingredients you need. You just hang on to that card. You know what to get, and you know how to make it. So you're not just getting food, but you're getting experience, and you're improving your chef skills along the way. Go to HelloFresh.com/Chump12 and use code CHUMP12 for 12 free meals, including free shipping. That's 12 free meals and free shipping by going to HelloFresh.com/CHUMP12 and using code CHUMP12. CHUMP12. Do that. 12 meals free, and make yourself a better cook. Thank you, HelloFresh. But audience, you're not out of the woods yet. So you got that 1 point there. Remember, it's all about not having the least amount of points. And in this next game, James has the opportunity to get 2 points right here. So you're really going to have to give it a shot as we move into our last game, which is called Pushing the Envelope.
Let's go, Deceivers. Let's keep this up, guys. Let's keep this up, baby.
You're doing well,
Let's go. Come on.
Deceivers.
Deceivers.
I have 3. Ryan, chill out. I have 3 envelopes here. And each one is a true fact about one of our deceivers. So I'm going to shuffle them up and redistribute them. So they might get their own fact. They might get someone else's. James is going to question each of them for 60 seconds about the fact they received. If it's theirs, they're answering truthfully. If it's not theirs, they're lying and making James think that it's about them. At the end of the game, James will simply go down the line and say if each person is telling the truth or telling a lie. If he gets all 3 right, he gets 2 points. If he gets 2 right, he gets 1 point, and then vice versa for how many he gets wrong, and the deceiver's getting points. Audience, you work a bit differently. We'll get to that in a second after we distribute the facts. Starting with Ryan. Ryan once DJ'd a party with a now famous music producer. DJ'd a party with a now famous music producer. Zach once fractured his kneecap at a wedding. At a wedding, fractured his kneecap. And Alec used to organize school-wide pillow fights in high school. So in high school, he used to organize school-wide pillow fights. Now, audience, you are voting on one fact in particular in this game. Christian didn't tell me what that fact was before the show, so let's see what it is. You are voting on who DJ'd a party with a now famous music producer. There it is. So Ryan is claiming that this is about him. After all the questioning is done, you can decide, is that about Ryan, Zach, or Alec? If you get it right, you're going to get 2 points, and you will be good to go, but it's a bit harder to do. Because if it isn't Ryan, then you're really up in the air on if it's Zach or Alec. James, you have 60 seconds to question each person. Who do you want to start with?
I'm going to start with Zach on this one.
All right. Fractured his kneecap at a wedding. So 60 seconds going on the clock. Ready, get set, go.
Whose wedding was this?
This was at my dad's wedding.
What's your dad's middle name?
Nealon.
Okay. All right. Kind of manifested that there for a second. Okay. So your dad was getting married, and you were at his wedding. And what led to you fracturing your knee?
I was giving a toast during the reception part of it, and took a little trip off the edge of the little step stage.
Okay, so you were standing. Was this a big wedding? Sounds like a big wedding.
It was pretty big. It was like, I don't know, like 50, 100 people maybe.
And so you were toasting to your father and you fell off the stage, correct?
Yeah.
Do you remember what you were in the midst of saying when you fell off?
It was something about how my new stepmom was going to be welcomed into the family with pretty open arms.
All right. So there's
definitely
questioning. There's the questioning for Zach. So that's one down. James, who would you like to go to next?
Let's go to Alec.
Going to Alec. Organized school-wide pillow fights in high school. 60 seconds on the clock. Ready, get set, go.
All right, Alec. So tell me, how did you organize these pillow fights?
So it was actually on MySpace because we were doing like that senior prank day sort of thing. And it was for Spirit Week leading up to homecoming. And there was a pajama day. And I thought like, well, let's just do a giant pillow fight instead. Well, not
it was
instead,
just
in
one-
addition to it being pajama day.
And so it was just one pillow fight, one giant pillow fight?
Yeah, just one giant pillow fight.
Okay.
'Cause, like,
was this the kind... Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh,
I was gonna say,
it
did you
was
get in
just
trouble
more of a
for it?
harder thing. Did I get in trouble for it? No. It did not get back to me for some reason. And I guess it was just innocuous enough. That's just like, everyone was fighting with pillows.
Did everyone bring their own pillows?
Yeah, because it was like wear
weren't
pajama
provided.
day.
Okay.
BYOP.
All right.
Yep. Very important for those days. All right.
Okay.
So that is 2 down. That just leaves Ryan. We've left Ryan for last on this game. Which audience, this is the one you're going to really want to focus on. This is the story that you are voting on. Ryan claims that he DJ'd a party with a now famous producer. So James, 60 seconds are going on the clock to question him about this. 60 seconds, ready, get set, go.
All right, Ryan, whose wedding were you at when you hurt your knee?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't at a wedding.
Okay, all right. So what was the name of the producer?
Pharrell Williams, ever heard of him, man?
I have heard of
Yeah.
Pharrell.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you just happened to be DJing, or did you know that you would be DJing for Pharrell?
No, I'm not a DJ at all. I don't pretend to be. The funny part of the story really is that before, I used to dress up for kids' parties, and I happened to be at one where Pharrell Williams was at, and he was kind of DJing because it was like I was SpongeBob SquarePants, and at some point he thought it'd be funny to have SpongeBob be DJing with him, so I was like, had my headphones, and I was basically like acting like I was spinning records and stuff for like 25-30 minutes.
Whose party?
Towards the end of the party. Some kid, some 4-year-old. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
All right. Okay. All right. The facts all laid out in front of us. So, audience, you need to decide, did that story convince you that is about Ryan, or do you think it's about Zach or about Alec, who DJ'd a party with the now famous music producer? Make sure to cast your votes. Before we lock that in and before we get your final answers, James, what are you thinking going into this? Are they all believable or none of them believable, or what are you thinking here?
I definitely feel like some made stronger cases for telling the truth than others. The thing about Ryan is he'll offer up this information you didn't ask for, like a detail, but then you're questioning whether or not he's just doing that so he can control the actual interrogation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a technique for sure. Whereas Zach and Alec were more willing to answer my questions. But that being said, I think I do have an inclination, and the worst part about it is that if I'm wrong, Ryan's going to jump out of his chair. So.
That's a risk we're gonna have to take as we go into the answering phase of this. Audience, we are locking you in for your final game. 2 points on the line, and best of luck to you. James, we're now going to go down the line, starting with Ryan. Do you think Ryan was telling the truth or telling a lie about the DJing?
Real quick, can I just point out that a little factoid popped in about Ryan moving to LA, and it said he's lived with crazy people? That should be rephrased to say people have lived with Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan is the crazy person. He's the one who knocks.
So let's rephrase that. Okay, so Ryan first.
Yes.
First. SpongeBob SquarePants, Party with Pharrell Williams. Arguably, like, the first name I would think of if someone said music producer as well. Sure, I'll say that's true.
Do you want to lock that in?
I'll lock that in.
All right, let's lock in Ryan as telling the truth about DJing. On to Zach. Zach, who fractured his kneecap at a wedding. Is Zach telling the truth or telling a lie?
I feel like that was a lie.
Lock that in as well.
I'll lock it in.
All right, lock in Zach as telling a lie about the kneecap. And that leaves Alec, who mathematically would be telling a lie with your answering here. But you can go against math if you want to, like, kind of forfeit going for the clean run. Do you think Alec is telling the truth or telling a lie about the pillow fight?
I'll go ahead and lock in that was a lie.
Lock in Alec as telling a lie about the pillow fights. Okay, now before we reveal the points, because there's a lot up for grabs here, let's take a look at what the audience thought about DJing with a now famous music producer. Audience, they went with Ryan as well. All right, so James and the audience agree that Ryan is telling the truth. All right, so now it's time to go down the line, starting with Ryan, who claims to have DJ'd with a now famous producer, and I can reveal that Ryan was telling a lie. That was a lie. Ryan is look at him. He's coming out of his chair. So happy.
I told you. I warned you. I warned you.
I jumped you, James Phillip. You are such a chump, dude.
I warned you. I warned you. I said.
Everybody's a chump. I'm rocking this game. You gotta have. I gotta be your co-host.
You're great, man. You're doing great.
No,
You're
don't
doing
let him
great,
do that.
Ryan.
Don't let him do that.
Great. But so there's still James can still earn points here if he gets the next two correct. So on to Zach, who claimed to have fractured his kneecap at a wedding. James thought he was telling a lie, and I can reveal that Zach was telling a lie. So you did get that one correct. And now it comes down to this. So were Ryan and Nick's stories flipped and Alec was telling the truth, or was Alec telling a lie? Time to find out. Did Alec organize school-wide pillow fights? I can reveal that Alec was telling a lie. So he was all three were lying, which means at the end of that game, James gets a point for getting two of them correct. We will hear about all of these stories, the true stories, in the post show, like Nick DJing with Marshmallow, I believe it was, and then Ryan organizing pillow fights, and Alec fracturing his knee at a wedding. We will hear about all of those. Now here's the deal.
We crushed it.
Here's
Can't
the deal.
wait for my $1 million.
So James got a point for that round, and the audience had a point from the previous round. Right, so the score right now should be, is it 1-1 to 4? But here's the thing. I was given some information just a little bit ago.
Oh my God.
From Christian. We had a tie vote. We had a tie vote in the game. And so we gave a point to the audience and we gave a point to the deceivers. But it was revealed to us that Ryan actually had more votes by 2. There were 2 more votes for Ryan than for Nick. So I am going to take back the points that we had given to the audience meaning that the audience did not secure any points this game. Yes. And James got one in the final round, which means on this episode of Chump, the audience is going to be tonight's. Chump. There it is. The James got it back at the end. The Deceivers did a great job. Ryan went on his redemption run in the 2 games. But yes, I cannot wait to hear the true stories. Having read what they are and who they are from, I'm very, very excited to hear the real stories behind these. But to watch that, you're going to have to be a first member and watch our post show, which is called Chump Change. So once again, thank you very much to James. Thank you to Ryan. Thank you to Nick. And thank you to Alec for joining us.
Zach, Jeremy, Zach.
Oh, what'd I say? Nick?
Nick.
Why?
That's a lie.
I didn't correct you the first 2 times.
Did I do it again? I did it multiple times because I'm thinking Niblick, which is Nick.
I know,
in my brain.
literally my entire life. It's okay. It's totally fine. This is why I don't remember even my good friends' middle names because I'm so focused on correcting people with my own
Zach, did I do it a lot, Zach, or did I do it like?
I think it was just a few times. Don't worry about it.
Oh God,
it's really
damn
not a big deal. I'm saying it more for the audience's clarity so that they don't think that there's some funny.
This is the middle name thing all over again. Like this names again. Thanks. I need that. I need to go over that.
Make sure to follow Zach at Knackery underscore.
Snackery.
I'm just gonna lean into it and change my name legally once.
Well, that's the thing.
Over,
when we had the names come up, like when we go over the Twitter names, it's always like, oh I'm James Willems on there. I'm Ryan Haley. Whatever. Today it was like. We have Snackery, we had Laser Kraken or whatever. Ryan's game show. It's like, God,
come on, guys, know your brand, own your brand.
Come on. All right. So thanks again to James, Ryan, Zach, and Alec for tuning in for this. Thank you, audience, for coming by. Sorry we did that to you at the end with the points. And we will see you next week. A whole new cast here to lie. So thank you, everybody, and we'll see you in 7 days. Goodbye. Thanks for watching, everyone, and as always, make sure to let us know who managed to fool you in the comments down below. Also, if you want us to get any guests on the show, make sure to make your opinions known and let us know in the comments. Other than that, we'll see you next week, 4 p.m. Central Time on RTTV.